Hi everybody, Trippin' Sister here. Okay, we just left the Pierce Manse, President Pierce, where he lived, and most of his children had his children, and one of them died there. All of them died, but one of them died in one of the rooms that we were in. Unfortunately, we were not allowed to videotape, and we were not allowed to take pictures. So there's not a whole lot I can say. I will let Mr. Viking, who has a brain like a steel trap, tell you everything he remembers. The funny thing is, the lady that was giving us the tour was quite the historian, studied in Rome and did all this. And between her brain and his brain, my brain was getting tired. And she said, "Would you like to sit down?" That was by the time she explained every knife or fork or picture or embroidery or whatever all else was going on. And let me tell you, if you go there, wear some comfortable shoes. I had on tennis shoes, and my feet are tired. Anyhow, Mr. Viking, you want to tell them about the Pierce Manse, which I guess is not quite as big as a mansion and bigger than a house. But anyway, go ahead.
Franklin Pierce was born and raised here in New Hampshire, and he was a graduate of Bowdoin College. He became a lawyer, and when the American-Spanish War broke out, he enlisted as a private, went to Mexico and fought in many battles, was wounded in battle, and continued in the fight until he passed out.
He was promoted to colonel, too, at some point.
Brigadier General. He ended up being promoted to Brigadier General by James K. Polk, who was one of his predecessors as president. He was a state senator, and he was a senator in Washington, and he ran for the Democratic Party and took the 17th presidency of the United States.
14th.
14th, I stand corrected. 14th. So we had the opportunity to tour his family home here in Concord, New Hampshire, and learned a lot about his history and about the history of New Hampshire as a state. It's really fascinating to look back on these people from the past and upon their history and their lives and how they helped to shape the nation, which we've come to know as the United States of America.
Yes, and matter of fact, New Hampshire is considered
it was the first state with its own
Democratic Republic.
Yeah, it was the first state with its own constitution, and the State House has been in continuous use since 1819.
Yes.
So it's been a fascinating day, full of history.
Yes, lots and lots of history. We are on our way to Franklin, New Hampshire, which is about 20 miles from here or so.
13.
13 miles now from here. And I tell you, there's a lot of construction going on here. Well, I guess their tax dollars are at work, because they are forever working on their road systems here. My goodness. I'm glad we didn't have to bring the coach through there. But I really wish that we had been able to take pictures or whatever, but we were not. It was just strictly forbidden. So I don't know why. A lot of the things that were being used there, not used, but that were on display were used by the Pierce family, the president, and a
lot of them were period
and
pieces.
His wife, and some were period pieces, some were originals, like soup tureens and things like that she liked to use, were on display in a cupboard type thing. And it was quite fascinating and to know about that family. I didn't learn very much about Pierce when y'all see that. I'm just going to keep on going this way. Anyway, we have passed 3 cemeteries, so I guess folks is dying in New Hampshire. But anyway, I didn't learn very much about him in school. I don't know if any of you did, but I didn't hear much about him. I heard a lot about Lincoln, but I didn't hear a whole lot about him. I didn't hear anything about him. If I did, I was either asleep or in some state of mind where I wasn't paying attention. But anyway, all right, you guys. So we're headed to Franklin, and we don't know what's in Franklin. We're going to Franklin to find out. And that will be it for today. So
the type of architecture here is very interesting, unlike many other places in the United States. It seems that what happens is they start out with a small house
and they
that
build
fronts on the road, and then they just build onto the side of it,
or
keep
to the
building
back
onto the back of it. So they end up with these tremendously large houses that look like small houses in the front, but end up going back,
like another whole house.
Or two.
Or two attached to the back of the front house. It's really quite, it's quite something.
Yeah.
So anyway, all right, I don't want to run out of film. All right, you guys, thanks for going with us. I'm so sorry they would not allow us to share that with you. But we did our best to make sure that you knew what we had seen there and what we had experienced. All right? All right. Thanks for coming. Keep tripping.